Okay, well, folks, we're here to do Genesis chapter 2. I'm going to tell you right now, this was a lot simpler to do it with the Google Hangouts. That way, actually, it was easier to do. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to put, because I'm going to have to upload a video per chapter. Maybe y'all like it better that way. I don't know. I don't think you liked it much the other way, because I didn't get any dollars, so no votes that way. So we'll do it this way and see if it works out better. It'd be a video per chapter. That's going to be a lot of videos. Let's get to it. So we're going to start with NIV. I should have done this chapter 2. And I'll tell you what, let's go to King James first this time. Genesis chapter 2, King James first.
Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth, when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Remember this.
And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
I'm getting pretty good at hitting that button just at the right time. That was the King James Version. Now let's see if I can fire up the NIV Bible, and we'll listen to how the NIV describes this event of woman. And women hate this because, they, anyway, the jokes Let's just get study and see what the differences are in these Bibles.
Genesis 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Asher. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will certainly die." The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals. But for Adam no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man." That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame.
All right. So that was the NIV version. Now we will pull up the Hebrew name version. It's a Hebrew thing. So let's go in here, Genesis 2, in the revised name version.
Bereshit chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And in the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day, and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim in creating had made. These are the births of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that Yahweh Elohim made earth and heavens. Now no shrub of the field was yet on the earth, and no plant of the field had yet sprung up, for Yahweh Elohim had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. but a mist went up from the earth and watered the entire surface of the ground. And Yahweh Elohim formed the man out of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils breath of lives, and the man became a living being. And Yahweh Elohim planted a garden in Eden to the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Yahweh Elohim made every tree grow that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, with the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 riverheads. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. Bdellium is there, and the Shoham stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one which goes toward the east of Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. And Yahweh Elohim took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. And Yahweh Elohim commanded the man, saying, Eat of every tree of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that you eat of it you shall certainly die. And Yahweh Elohim said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as his counterpart. And from the ground Yahweh Elohim formed every beast of the field, and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called each living being, that was its name. So the man gave names to all livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helper for him as his counterpart. So Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall on the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh in its place. And the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from the man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. This one is called woman, because she was taken out of man. For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother, and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, yet they were not ashamed.
You can start at the end there. They were both naked and not ashamed. You know, it's kind of like yes, the animals have no comprehension of sin. They don't know that they're naked. So, you know, that's when God was able to walk amongst us. Adam knew God. God was there. Look at him. They had no sin. So we were originally made to be more like gods. We are the ones that stirred it up. Like the answer I got from God, where's my flying car? We could have had all that, but man screws it up. You know, we have to be greedy and fight. We could be out amongst the stars right now if it wasn't for all the greed and corruption and everything. So anyway, let's see. I did King James. That was all 3 of them. Let me check my time. I don't think I can fit time elapsed. 13 minutes. I could fit another one in here, but I'm just going to keep these videos one at a time. And at the end of each one, I get to make my commentary. And the Lord formed a grand. Oh, and you know, all this is going. It doesn't say how much time, because if he's only eating from the tree of life, Adam is not aging at this point, because not until they eat from the tree of good and evil do they begin to die. So at this point, Adam and Eve could live a long time and have a lot of children. You know, they are in the next. Well, we'll get on to chapter 3 in the next video. You know, they go fruitful and multiply. So Adam and Eve were probably like bunny rabbits for hundreds of years. And anyway, this is the story that God gave Moses, and Moses wrote this down. And this was the story that was written. You got to remember, this was written for a people that have never seen electricity. All they knew was basic life skills. Probably knew more than we knew now. They knew better to survive than the modern man does. So, yeah, they were ultimate preppers back then. They knew how to live off the land and what was good to eat and what wasn't good to eat. So anyhow, y'all can make up your own mind on that and see.